everyone. This is Kalila Holmes, and today I am bringing you another video, but a different one. And it's on how to make a mug design on a mug through Cricut. And so I will be demonstrating that to you today. And of course, like I said, I'm learning as well. So I have made several mugs, and today I'm making a larger mug. It's a 15 inch one. And so I hope that you will enjoy this video. This is a beginner's tutorial because I'm a beginner. And so in Cricut, you can go to projects and you can go into categories and project, and you can type in mugs. And in Cricut has a whole selection of mugs here, designs, that you can select from. Or you can download your own design. Like me, what I've done, I have my own project. I've done one for Monogram. And so what I'm going to do is go to my projects because I already downloaded a design. And as you can see, I have one here with the butterfly. I have several with butterflies. So I'm going to customize because I did one with the monogram, and what I did was put the monogram on one side of the mug and the butterfly on the other side. So I'm going to remove this one because that's not the one I'm going to use. And as well as this one, I'm not going to use the monogram. So I decided I wanted this butterfly. So what I did is I put my name here. And if you want to, you can just detach, and that'll take where you can move the name. If you don't like the font, you can go up here and change the font to any font that you want. However, I did use the Times New Roman font. And you could just scroll down and change it to any font that you want. So that's the font I decided to keep. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this back up a little closer to the butterfly and see how it looks. I'm going to put it a little closer. Okay. So one of the things before you start making your design to put on your mug, first of all, you want to measure your mug. You want to measure the width and the height. Usually the height that I have checked, and you can unlock this because if you don't, it's going to override your name and everything. So what I do, I unlock and I change the height, because the height on my mug is like, excuse me, I've changed the name, is 3. I usually do like 3.2. My mug, I think I got a little larger mug today. And you see how I messed up the name. And all I have to do is I'm going to lock the butterfly. And then I'm going to come back. And I'm going to change the mug. My name. So as you can see, I need to unlock that as well. And the height of this, I just go up here and change it. And I can go here with the arrow. I can make it as long as I want with the arrows. It's going to change up here. However, I don't want it that long. So the width, I'm going to change it to sort of like go under the butterfly. And then the height, I'm going to make it go up a little bit more. So let's see how it looks. The butterfly look funny. So I can go here, make the butterfly look a little bit better there. So I think with changing the width of the butterfly, and then I'm going to take my name and put it underneath there. Okay. Sort of center it under the L. So that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to select. Okay, because what I want to do is make sure that it's the size, the height, and the width that I want for my cup. And I see that it isn't. So what I did, I attached those first. Then I'm going to change everything together. So I'm going to make it 3.2. And I'm going to unlock, because I don't want to change the other one. So it can do it individually. So what I want to do is make 2 of these so I can put it on both sides of the cup. So you have to adjust so that it'll look presentable. And then what I'm looking at now, I'm going to have to go back to detach, because this Kalila is not, this name here is too large for me. So when I changed it, it'll look a little better. Maybe the butterfly might be, butterfly is 2, and the height of it is 2.4. Well, I want the height to be a little longer. So that means I'm going to have to make the width a little wider, because it doesn't look right. Let's see. Does that look okay? Maybe not. So again, you can just adjust it here to the size you want. And then I'm going to move it up a little closer. Now I think that's pretty good. And if I want to make the name a little longer, all I have to do is make sure it's unlocked and just drag it across. Same thing here. Just drag it across. Let's see how that looks. Okay, that looks pretty good. Then what I'm going to do is go back, and I am going to select all, go up here, select all. Then I'm going to go down to attach to make sure both my name, the name, and the butterfly is going to print out together. One of the things you need to go up here to where it says basic, and I'm going to go to print then cut. Okay, I'm not going to let Cricut cut it. I'm just going to go ahead and send it to my printer. And the printer that I use is the Epson 2720. And I'm going to put that on the sublimation paper that I use. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. So right now I have 2.5 and the height is 2.8. And like I said, I'm going to do 2. So I can go over here and duplicate. And that way I will have 2. 1 for each side. And let's see. I'm sort of leaning that maybe I should make my name a little, so I go back and detach. I just want it to be a little smaller. Okay. And I'm going to do well, I need to make sure I got the right size. So that's 0.3 by 1.56 by 0.3. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to do detach. Then I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to do, and I don't have to do it that way. I think I did 1.3. Oh, let's see. I forgot to unlock this. And then 0.3. Let's see what this one is. 0.312. So I got 0.312, and it's 1.56. So then I go here and do 3. Oh, I can just, forgot. I can just type it in, and instead of doing all of that, then it's 1.56 for the width. So I can just go here and type it in, 1.56. Okay, they'll still look a little different. 1.56. Okay, let's see what happens. Maybe I should have clicked on it. That's probably what it was. Okay, 1.56. So I just typed in the 6. All right. Alrighty there. So now they are matching up. And I think those are very pretty. And so I want to make sure that I have select all. I'm going to do one at a time. I'm going to take and highlight the whole thing, and then I'm going to attach so that the name and the butterfly will be together. Same thing here. I'm going to attach, make sure they're together. Now, what I'm going to do next, I'm going to go to Make It. On Make It, it seemed like it was a little close there. So what I'm going to do is just move it over just a little bit. And don't forget to mirror your design. Because I have the font on there, I have to mirror the design. And so what are you going to do? Make sure your printer is on. And like I said, I have the paper in there for the sublimation. And I am going to send this to my printer. I want to make sure that it will go through your Cricut. And right now it's trying to find it. And once it finds it, it will send, and then you just hit send to printer. And one of the things it's going to ask you is, and my printer is the ET, it's an Epson 2760. Excuse me, I said 20, but it's 2760. And my paper size in there is 8.5 by 11. So what I'm going to do, I'm only doing one copy, but make sure you take off the bleed, because I found out in doing this, I left the bleed on and it came out smeared looking. So I had to research and found out it was the bleed. So I'm going to send this to the printer, and I will be back to show you how the design came out. And I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so I have cut out my designs from the paper. And like I said before, I used the sublimation paper, and it's the A sub. And when I put it in my printer, I make sure that the paper that says, the part that says A sub is turned backwards towards the wall, because I have mine that prints out from the top. So this is the mug that I'm using, and like I said, you need to you know, use your tape measure to measure. Here mine is 4, but it's a little less than 4. And you can measure the width of it. Mine is like 10. So because I want to put 2 designs on, one on each side of the mug, I make sure that I have cleaned this off with some rubbing alcohol, 70%, and I have my tape here. And what I'm going to do is position this, and I made sure that it was mirrored, and you can see if it was mirrored because on the on the other side of the paper, I will be able to read my name. So what I'm going to do now, I am going to use my heat tape, and I am going to tape this on. First of all, before I tape it, I want to position to where I think I want to have this. So usually when people are drinking, it's on this side. So I want to make sure that it's even up on both sides. So, just a little bit further out on this side. So, or either maybe a little closer on that side. Make sure, some people are good, they have something that they measure with. So I'm gonna take my tape here. I got my heat press warming up, and I used it's called Vivor heat press. So I'm gonna put the tape on, in the position that I want. I'm a lefty, so I do things a little different. You might see I'm a little awkward here. Not talking bad about left-handed people, because I'm left-handed myself. So I just want to make sure that this is taped down pretty good. Sometimes you have to do the corners, but I think my corners are pretty good, down pretty well, taped down pretty good. So I'll just put an extra piece just to make sure that the corners are down. Okay, so here's my mug. This is like a 15, not 11 size mug here. So what I've done, I've heated up my cup heat press. I have it on as 386 for 60 seconds, and some people use like maybe 400 for 60 seconds. But I decided just to do it 386. I'm gonna just see how it comes out. Okay. So again, I used the Vivor, Vevor, and my opinion, I have to say, I think I had some problems with the time on it. So anyway, I slide my cup in there, my mug in there, and they have different sizes because mine has 8. Just make sure before you close it down that you have your mug all the way in there and it's not sticking out on each end. And so you have this little handle here that you can press down to make sure that you got the whole mug in there and it's covering it. And on this little timer here, and you probably can't see it here, but let's see if I can get this over there a little bit more. Okay. All right. So what we're gonna do, I forget to set my little timer here. And we are going to like I said, I've just used this. So I press for the timer. Now I've had a little problem with this particular heat press machine as far as the timer starting automatically. I had to play with it a couple of times to get it to change. Come on. I think I'm gonna have to get me another heat press machine because it's just, this timer doesn't work well. So what happened is I have to make sure I keep up with the timer myself on my watch. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And at this time, it's not working. I'm sorry that I am making all this noise trying to get this timer to work. Now it starts working. Maybe I was doing something wrong. But anyway, I'm going to let it, do its own thing. It's counting down. And we're going to see how it turns out. You have to let it cool off. And what I did, I have some gloves that I use to take it off with because it can be so hot. So I will let it sit for a little while after it's baked in this heat press, this cup heat press. And then we'll see how it turns out. So right now it's counting down, like I said, and hopefully this is, like I said, it's a beginner's one for me as well. I hope this turned out okay. So now it went off. The timer went off, saying it's ready. Be careful when you're taking it out. The handle is not hot. But, so I'm going to let it cool off. And some people use a mask because it does give off fumes. But make sure that you have your fan on. And so I'm going to wait a few seconds and let it cool off, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, everyone. So now we have let the mug cool off. I'm putting on my gloves just to make sure it's cool. And it has. I don't even think I need my gloves. Okay. But you get some heat resistant gloves because these can be very hot. So I've let it cool off, and now I'm going to take this off. Uh-oh. One of the things I didn't do, and I see where I made a mistake, I've got that black mark on it. And I don't know if that came from the paper or the way I put it in to the mug heat press. Okay. So I see that I have that on the other side. So what I think probably I did wrong is I should have used a larger connection for the mug. And it probably wouldn't have made these black lines on it. But other than that, the butterfly with my name came out real pretty. And I did it on both sides. So, excluding those black marks. And again, this is where I'm still learning how to make mugs and change the designs on them as well. So this is what has happened. I think I just needed to switch out the mug heat press for the larger mug, because I did use this for a smaller mug, and I'll show that to you. So I used that for this size mug, and if you can see, they are a different size. And when I was telling you about the bleed, to make sure you take that bleed off when you're printing, because if you can see how it smudged, how it came out, that's because I forgot, and the butterfly didn't even come out good. But on this one, The butterfly came out real beautiful. And again, I should have used a larger heat press attachment for the mug. And so I hope that you have learned something. I know I have my mistakes, and we'll learn together. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And please give me a thumbs up and subscribe so I can do another video. We'll learn together. Thank you for tuning in.